Hey guys, Astrid here, and today's video is going to be quite interesting because all I have is a topic. I tried to prepare almost like all day yesterday, and by the time I got to the second trial of writing a whole word, I just wasn't feeling it in my heart, and I was just like, okay, Jesus, what's going on? We've talked. You say you want me to do this video. Why am I not getting anything from what I'm writing? And what I got back was, I just want you to sit down and record. I'll put the words in your mouth as you're speaking. So that's what's going to happen. It's kind of scary. I usually have an idea of what's going to happen. So I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. It's going to be quite interesting. So let's get it over with. What I feel this video is about is completely just canceling the words waiting on my Boaz. I'm not gonna say I'm a big words person because there are a lot of words I don't know, but I do like to look up the definition of words. A couple years ago, I stopped using the word crush because of its definition. I was saying I had a crush on someone, and God was like, look up the word crush, look up the definition for crush. And when I looked it up, I was like taking it back because it never crossed my mind, and I don't have it written down in front of me, so I can't say it by memory. However, a little bit of the definition, it says it's an infatuation, and it's literally you saying that someone is unavailable or unattainable or inappropriate for you. And when I read that, I was in my car on the red light. By the way, I don't drive on my phone with my phone in my hand. I just Googled it, and I read the definition while I was on the red light, and I just turned to my and my light just turned off. I turned to Jesus sitting on my passenger seat, and I was just like, what? And he was like, yeah, so were you saying you have a crush on this person? You're literally already canceling any possibilities of you and him getting together because you're saying he's inappropriate, he's unattainable, he's unavailable, so don't call him that. And so I stopped using the word crush. And so with waiting on my Boaz, the only thing God gave me yesterday in our 5 hours of preparing was look up the definition of waiting. So I looked up the definition of waiting, and what waiting means is the action of staying where one is or delaying action until a particular time or until something else happens. I was completely taken aback on this. I mean, not really, but yes. But mostly on the fact because of the whole phrase waiting on my Boaz. So literally when you're saying I'm waiting on my Boaz, it means I am staying where I am until my Boaz comes. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. In case you didn't know. You're not supposed to be sitting down, twiddling your thumb, your fingers, whatever, waiting on your future husband to show up. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be walking. You're supposed to be moving forward, your eyes on Jesus, doing what God wants you to do. And then at some point, you meet up with the person that God has for you. I remember hearing a podcast about a year ago where this girl is talking about how she felt God was calling her to go on a mission, to be a missionary, and she was afraid to go because she was afraid that if she went, she was going to miss her husband. And then she made the decision to go, and guess what? She met her husband on that mission trip, on that missionary experience. How many things have you turned away from because you were afraid that if you moved or if you stepped away from where you were at, you were going to miss that special someone. First of all, personally, this is just me. I don't want my future husband to be behind me. I don't want to be standing here waiting for my future husband to just pop up. Because if he's catching up to where I am, that means he was all the way behind me, who knows where. I want to be the one catching up to him, because he's supposed to be the head. He's supposed to be over me. So that means he's supposed to be up there. Even if he was behind me and ended up zooming past me because it wasn't time yet, I want to be the one catching up to him. I don't want him to have to turn around to get to me. I don't want him to like come out from all the way who knows where and end up next to me and then us walking together. No, I want to be the one catching up to him because he's already where he was supposed to be. And I'm just coming here to be his helper because as a wife, I'm my husband's helper. I'm his helpmate. So I'm coming in while he's already doing what he's supposed to be doing. So that means I cannot be waiting. I cannot be standing still. I cannot be delaying action while I wait for him to arrive to me. Yes, I know, as the woman, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. But like I said, I don't want him to have to turn around just to come and find me. Who wants that? Who wants to have to turn it back around? You don't even do that for anybody. You wouldn't do that. Unless God tells you to. That's an inconvenience. When you're racing, you don't want to have to slow down because the rest of your team is too slow. For no reason. Too slow for no reason. Because if it's God telling you to stand still and wait, that's a whole different story. But I'm pretty sure that if God told you to stay still and wait, he still gave you an assignment to be doing while you're waiting. And we like to look at Ruth and Boaz as a romantic story. It's not a romantic story. Ruth did not go after Boaz, and Boaz did not go after Ruth. Until Naomi told Ruth. Literally, the story of Ruth is about faithfulness and redemption. Ruth was faithful to Naomi. Ruth ended up leaving her home to go back to Bethlehem with Naomi out of faithfulness to Naomi. Ruth ended up working in the field because she needed to provide for herself and Naomi because they didn't have anybody else to provide for them. And it just so happens that the field she ended up in belonged to Boaz. But Ruth wasn't searching for a husband. She wasn't waiting for a husband. A husband was nowhere near her mind. And Boaz did not pursue Ruth. Boaz showed absolutely no interest in Ruth. Boaz was just a kind soul. Naomi even says it herself that, and I don't recall the verse completely because I don't have notes. But she literally, when Ruth comes back home after her first day in the field, and Naomi asks her where she was, and Ruth retells what happened in her day. Naomi says something along the lines of, he has not stopped showing kindness to the living or the dead. That means Boaz has always been kind. You can even see that when he first arrives at the field, and the first words out of his mouth is, "May the Lord be with you," to his harvesters, to his employees. He's a kind person. He was just being kind. Does that mean he wasn't attracted to Ruth? He probably was. But here's the thing. Boaz was an old man. He calls Ruth his daughter, my daughter. First sign, and when Naomi tells Ruth to go to Boaz, Boaz even says to himself, God bless you for not going. This is your second act of kindness, not going for someone younger or richer or poorer. So there was no pursuing, there was no waiting, there was no searching, there was nothing romantic going on. I don't understand why we romanticize their story. It's not a romantic story. Ruth was working. Ruth was minding her own business. Boaz was minding his own business. It was Naomi that got them both together. So likewise, with us, as women, we're supposed to be focusing on what God wants us to do, supposed to be working towards our purpose, whatever that looks like. And as a man, he's supposed to be working towards his purpose and towards what God told him to do until God says, look. And you're supposed to be doing the same until God says, look. And then you look and you find and you come together as one. Whatever that looks like. Of course, everybody has a whole different story, a whole different layout. That's where your relationship with Jesus comes into play. Because you have your own dialogue with Jesus. But like, seriously, we need to stop being like, God, where's my husband? God, where is he? When are you going to send him? God, I'm getting old, God. I'm over here getting old. Where is he, God? Look at all these guys here. Like, they don't even know how to flirt. They don't even approach a girl. All of this stuff that we say, or that y'all say, because I don't say that. And I have my reasons for not saying that. I don't know if God wants me to say that, but like, to say why, I think he does. He did tell me that he wants me to be transparent and vulnerable, which I am not looking forward to. But I keep getting sidetracked. Anyways, I just lost my momentum. You're not supposed to be doing all of that. Like, trust me, this is where it's coming in. I saw what you did there. You don't want to ask God, tell me if this is my future husband. Because sometimes he just will tell you. And it's not the time. And all you're going to do is watch him and not be able to do anything because it's not time yet. It was okay for you to know. I don't know why. I don't know why I know. I actually wish I could go back to a year and a half ago now, and like tell myself, stop asking God to tell you who your future husband is. You don't want to know who it is because you're not going to gain anything out of knowing. And sometimes that's the fact. You're not going to gain anything out of knowing who it is. So stop asking. You can pray for your future spouse. You can pray that God continues on blessing them, that God continues on guiding them, that they're continuing on walking with Jesus. And if they haven't found Jesus, may they find Jesus before they find you. And all this other stuff. But like, stop asking him to reveal to you who it is. Stop asking him where he is. Because he will come. If God told you you're going to get married, you're going to get married. You're going to get married. But stop not doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's a problem. Because what if he comes tomorrow? But you were supposed to have X, Y, and Z already done and prepared in order to be with him. But you're waiting for him to come in order to get X, Y, and Z together. Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't. Because that means that you're going to be behind while he's going to be 3-4 steps ahead of you. And then you're going to be rushing to catch up to him. And you'll make a mess of what you were supposed to already have been done with. So, stop waiting and start moving. Like I said at the beginning, I'd rather catch up to him. That's what I want. Honestly, I feel like I'm like 200 miles away in the race. And I need to catch up. Does that mean I want him to slow down? No, I don't. I want him to keep doing what he's doing. I'll catch up to him. And once that happens, it's on God. It's not on you. It's not on me. You still following God's instructions. Even if God does reveal to you who he is or who she is, if you're a guy watching this, even if God reveals to you who they are, you still need to be paying attention to him to see if he wants you to pursue. And ladies, there's a difference in pursuing. There's something I learned. See, God told me, pursue friendship. I realized a couple weeks ago, because a friend mentioned, that I should have asked if he wants me to pursue friendship now. Because apparently I was pursuing friendship at the wrong time. But it's okay to pursue friendship. And the reason why God told me to pursue friendship, it was pretty much like put yourself in his line of sight. Let him see you. Talk to him. You don't have to wait for a guy to come talk to you first. You can walk up to him and talk to him first. Pursue friendship. Friendship. You're not asking him out for coffee. You're not asking him for his phone number. You're not asking him for anything. You're just simply having a conversation. If by the end of that conversation he asks you for your Instagram, give it to him. Ask God if it's okay. Because I've made the mistake of not asking God if it's okay if I give someone my IG. I've reaped the fruit of that later on. So make sure you ask God if it's okay for you to give somebody your IG. I personally don't give guys my phone number unless there's already some type of foundational friendship there. So that's me. That's a boundary. That's a standard I have. But yeah, like, it's okay for you to initiate a conversation. You're not planning a wedding when you start having that conversation. You're not visualizing yourself married to this person. You're just having a conversation, placing yourself in his line of sight. And if he's the one for you, eventually what's going to happen is that things are going to shift. First, you were the one starting the conversation, and then he's going to be the one starting the conversation. And it might not be a long process. It might be a long process. Who knows? Everybody works differently. But don't rush it. Don't rush it. Don't rush. It's not late. You're not late. If you're 30, 33, 34, it's not late. If you want to have a family, it's not late. God is the God of miracles. If he wants your womb to be open, it's going to be open until he says is otherwise. So even if you get married at 40, God will bless you with the child if you have faith that he will. So don't rush. And keep trusting God. God is preparing you, and he's preparing him. You might think you have got it all together and that you're ready to get married, but you might not be. There might still be something in your heart that God needs to work on before he brings him to you. He might actually, as a matter of fact, he might be on the other side of you actually moving, getting up and stopping to wait and not waiting anymore. So let's stop looking at the story of Ruth and Boaz as a romance, because it's not. Faithfulness from Ruth. The faithfulness that Ruth had towards Naomi is the faithfulness that we have to have towards God. And Boaz was a redeemer. We don't need a redeemer in a man. We already have our ultimate redeemer in Jesus. So waiting on our Boaz, waiting on our redeemer, we already have our redeemer, Jesus. So why are we waiting? What are you waiting for when you already have Jesus? So let's wake up. Let's wake up. Let's be careful about the words that we say, about the words that we speak over ourselves. The words that we speak over our relationships. Let's start talking to God. But let's not just talk. Let's listen too. Let's allow ourselves to listen and hear what God wants us to do in preparation. Because that's what you're supposed to be doing right now. You're supposed to be preparing yourself. And preparation looks different from everybody else. So don't look at your sister to your left and your sister to your right and look at what they're doing to prepare themselves and try to do that yourself. Look at God and ask Him what He wants you to do in this season. And focus on that. That is all I have for this video. I really hope it wasn't too much out of all over the place. I feel like it was all over the place, but I hope that you guys got something out of this, because yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hopefully God will let me prepare beforehand. Bye.